All right, haves and have not fans. Now, these are, in my opinion, the top five most disappointing moments from the series or franchise as a whole. Some things are within the show itself, others not so much. Now, number five. This was at the beginning of I forgot which episode. I think it was either Criminology 101 or season 5 episode something. I forgot the episode title. But this was not long after the legend herself, Aretha Franklin, passed in real life. And I remember the episode opening, and it really tore me up when I actually saw this for the first time, because you should have seen me. I remember being in my apartment at the time, and I was in front of my computer. I had Twitter, pulled up so I can tweet. I had my notebook in front of me so I could take notes. I had everything set up to watch the episode. And I'll never forget the top sentence. Tonight's episode is dedicated to the number one fan of the haves and the have-nots. And I'm like, oh my God, it's me. Miss Aretha Franklin, 1942-2018. When I saw that pop, I'm like, ain't this something else? Yeah, I was really pissed off at that. I'm like, well, yeah, I mean, it's the legend herself, but I mean, come on now. I feel like a majority of us didn't know until after her passing that the Haves and the Have-Nots was like her favorite TV show. And remember, at her funeral, a bunch of the cast were actually there in attendance, so that was pretty cool. But this was when I was really blowing up at the time, and I thought like, yo, that was going to be me. No, it wasn't. So I never had an episode dedicated to me. Whack whack. Number 4, Killing Amanda. Look, there are a number of beautiful women in the show that I crushed on, that I was pissed off when they got killed, whether it be Maggie Day, Melissa, Jennifer Salison. But Amanda was the first, and kind of like Jean, it really tore me up when I found out she had died, because I'm like, no. But then again, we didn't find out that Amanda died until what? The beginning of season 2/3, depending on, how you look at the production number. But, yeah, it was pretty intense. But then again, it was pretty obvious that Amanda was the one that died, because we saw Wyatt at the beginning of the following episode after the shooting, and he checked on both his mom and his sister, and we saw Catherine was still alive, but we only saw the back of Amanda's head. And it wasn't until like episode 5 or something when Hannah went to Amanda's room to draw the curtain, so open the curtain so it'll be something like, hey Amanda, you got to get up and get ready. And then she found her dead there. So yeah, Amanda dying really sucked. It was a major disappointment. The character, I felt like, had a lot to bring to the show, but at that point she was just killed off. So that was number 4. Number 3, you've heard me talk about this recently a lot and over the years. The fact that the series itself still has not been released on, for home on home release, whether it be DVD, Blu-ray. Yeah, it's on streaming services, but there's nothing like the physical copy of a show or a movie where you got a lot of bonus features, deleted scenes, cast interviews, things of that nature, commentary, this, that, and the third. I would really love if we had the haves and the have-nots on home release, but that's just me. Number 2, and yeah, this do I feel better about this since it's almost been 2 years? Yeah, I mean, life's a bitch sometimes, but not being invited to the final cast reunion, that still, it doesn't cut deep like it used to. Trust and believe, I was pissed the fuck off not getting an invite. Let me just say, I still have a scar. From that. After all the years I dedicated to the show, and granted, nobody made me. I made the choice to, quit my job and everything to review the show. And in the long run, it was the right decision. I wanted to be self-employed. I wanted to be a YouTuber. And the haves and the have-nots allowed me to do that. Wait, when did I quit? Was it 2017? Dang. Oh, yeah, I'm coming up on 6 years. Yeah, it was the haves and the have-nots, because at the time, sisters and all that didn't even exist yet. So, I left late 2017, and it was like 2 years before like sisters and everything else came out. But that really did suck. All those years I mean, remember, I blogged for like 2 or 3 years before going to YouTube. And then if you add it up, I was pretty much a dedicated, commentator on the series since the early episodes. But the fact that I couldn't be a part of that final cast reunion, that was my last chance. What really burned me up was when I was at home watching, and my dad was like, "Oh, what are you going on about? I mean, you'll get a chance to go there." I'm like, "It's the final cast." He was just so insensitive about the topic. It's like, it's the final cast reunion. I've said this before, time and time again. Even if I eventually get that invite to Tyler Perry Studios because of the team up, because of Sisters or Bruh or whatever, it would be great, but it won't be the haves and the have-nots. That was the thing that got me started. And there was any cast I wish I could interact with, it would have been them. But I never got that chance. I felt robbed. I felt cheated. I did a huge rant video. If you want to check it out, I know one person said before in a comment when I mentioned this in another video, was like, "Yeah, I'm glad I didn't see that rant video. I wouldn't want to be part of the channel because I didn't want to." You gotta understand from my perspective, it was pretty fucked up not to get an invite. So yeah, I feel like that was the biggest disappointment. But I would say the number one disappointment from the haves and the have-nots didn't just impact me, but every fan, especially those who were day oneers, episode oneers, if you will, getting a piss poor excuse of a finale. I felt gutted even more by not getting a proper finale than not getting an invite to the cast reunion. Seriously. For almost a decade, almost 200 episodes, and we got one of the most rushed, convoluted, inexcusable, fatal finales of any show I've ever seen. I mean, I was pissed off. I remember me and my mom watched it and we just sat there like, that was it? Because I remember saying way back when, that episode was a decent season finale, but it was not no. It felt like 2 episodes. It's like the first half of the episode felt like a decent season finale. The back half was just so rushed in to kill everybody off that the deaths just happened so frequently that it didn't really give us time to feel anything. Because before we could process one character dying, another group of characters would get killed like 10 seconds later. And I felt like it was a lazy way to end the series just for the sake of, yeah, I'm going to BET now. And I don't fully blame Tyler Perry because originally the show was supposed to be like, one season shorter than what it was, but OWN ordered more episodes. And that really sucked because remember, at the time, yes, Tyler was, on the Viacom vibes. He didn't care about OWN. And as a result, fans who have been watching since day one sat through probably the shittiest finale we have ever gotten from a Tyler Perry product. I don't truly hate the episode, but it was really one of the most disappointing products of a Tyler Perry Studios show that I've ever seen. It truly was disappointing to say the least. So with that being said, what were your top disappointments of this? I know a lot of people probably say like Candace and Charles not ending up together, or Veronica getting killed off the way she did, and the list goes on. But like I said, let's talk about it in the comments. And like my number 2 being the reunion thing. Look, if you don't complain, look, you don't understand. You didn't sacrifice everything to review this show and then never get it, a thanks for it. But that's just me.